we go. All right, everybody. Joy, they are coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. As always, it is a pleasure to have Brandon on here, who has been with us every episode on this crazy journey called the 2023 NFL Draft. Well, Brandon, we made it, man. We're on to the 20s, man. We're on the 20s. There's no going back now. There's no going back now, man. We are literally 15 days away. Starting tomorrow, it'll be 2 weeks until the Panthers didn't get on the clock until they traded for that pick, but they're on the clock now. So they've been on the clock ever since they made that trade. So I think it's just for dramatic effects, I think this time though count. I never liked the whole project number one and they take the whole 10 minutes. Like, we know what you're going to do, man. Just hurry up, man. We know what's going on. Like, we don't need dramatics. This one, Carolina is, I think they deservingly so deserve all 10 minutes.
No, I don't think that either. I think that the first two picks we should know. Like, the first two picks are kind of obvious. Depending on what they do with the third pick, that's kind of obvious too. And the fourth pick is kind of obvious. So what the hell do we need to waste all this time and energy for? Just pick the player, keep pushing. We are good.
Well, I mean, because they're right now, so deservingly so. All the 10 minutes they could get, just until they go to agreements. Yes, I'll be damned if it's still Anthony Richardson. I'm not going to talk to you that night. I'm not talking to you that night. I'm not talking to you.
You don't have to. I'm going to text you.
But I'm not talking to you that night.
I'm never going to send you the picture.
No, I'm not answering, dude. I'm going to put my phone on silent. I'm not answering, dude.
Anthony Richardson in a Carolina Panthers uniform. Just. And
then I'm going to Photoshop you in the back going. I'm going to Photoshop you in the back going, hey. Like, no, I'm not answering, dude. I'm not answering. Like, you do not exist. I don't know you don't exist. Friday morning, I'll give you a call back. But Thursday night, I know you don't exist to you right now. I don't want to.
One's gonna be like, hey, saw your call yesterday, man. Didn't see that. Yeah, what's up?
Maybe I should start going crazy too. Yeah, I should start going crazy too. Shit. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But it is not about the Panthers today. It is all about the two teams, as you see on the screen right there. It is all about the Baltimore Ravens and the Minnesota Vikings. Two teams that are on different paths to collision. And depending on how big they can be, it might determine the future. So let's start with the Baltimore Ravens. So, Baltimore, 10-7. Good year. Good year again. Baltimore, good year again. And wouldn't you believe it? Third overall best defense fell. Baltimore being nothing different. Nothing different. 19th best offense. And why is it that they're the 19th best offense? Well, because like from CJ from San Andreas said, oh man, here we go again. Lamar Jackson had a short, well, he didn't have a short season. It's just he could have come back. Let's be real. I'll be real about this. He could have come back. But, like Homer Simpson and the Simpsons said in his mind, show me the money. Show me the money. He didn't want to, and I don't blame him. But statistically, still a pretty good year. 2,242 yard passings, 70 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and he led his team in rushing with 764 yards and 3 touchdowns. So a total of 20 touchdowns, 7 turnovers. Mark Andrews leading the team with 73 receptions, 847 yards, and 5 touchdowns. So what does this all mean to me? Not a goddamn thing. It means not a goddamn thing to me. Why? There's a reason Lamar is holding out, folks. When you're leading the team in passing and rushing, you're in and you're out. Yeah, I do want that Deshaun Watson contract. Yes, is there a risk involved for giving that? Yeah. But if you take away, put it like this, if you take just away from Chicago, How bad is that Chicago offense?
Terrible. They're terrible.
You take Lamar Jackson out of Baltimore. How bad is that Baltimore offense?
It's non-existent.
I didn't know throwing 2 touchdown ball not nowadays. Tyler Huntley made the only throwing 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. It's pretty hard when I was here in Vegas and I see Tyler Huntley and spin it. How great of a season he had. Like, no, homie, you still only throw 2 touchdowns, man. He had more incompletions than touch, bro. Like, come on. Come on. It goes like this. It goes without saying. And what the issues of both sides is. Lamar Jackson wants to get paid top dollar. Baltimore is saying, I don't want to take the risk. What's the solution here, Brandon?
Pay Lamar. I don't know what the solution should be, but my solution is pay Lamar. I don't see the point of it. I don't see the point of Baltimore acting like this is such a hard fucking head scratching decision. It's so stupid. You got to realize also for most of the season, J.K. Dobbins wasn't even healthy, and when he was, he really wasn't doing shit. It's just I don't get this team. I don't get Baltimore. I really don't get them. I don't get them. I get that they were the 3rd best defense. That sounds awesome. That's great. When Lamar went down, they couldn't stop shit. Let's just be real. Tyler Huntley couldn't even get the damn offense down the field sometimes. It just, oh my God. Like when you are literally the 4th best winning quarterback in the entire NFL history of winning quarterbacks, this should not be hard. In a former MVP, this should not be hard. This is not hard. This is not a hard ass decision. I don't know why Baltimore is making it this hard, but this ain't Trent Dilfer. This ain't Kyle Bowler. This ain't Joe Flacco. Like, like, just pay the damn man. Why is this so goddamn hard? I don't get it.
I don't know. I don't know why it's so hard for some teams. I don't get it either. I don't get it either. Listen, I get the risk factor of the injuries and everything, but don't you think maybe the reason he sat out is maybe, I don't know, why am I going to play for my undervalued contract when I know I should deserve more? Understand this.
I need people to stop saying that. I need people to stop saying that. That he's an injury risk. He's an injury risk because of the offense you have around him. So he has to do everything. To be honest with you, you should pay him for being a running back and a goddamn quarterback. You should be getting paid double for both of that shit. Because literally, he's the entire offense. If the motherfucker could throw the ball to himself, he probably would. Let's be real. If you could actually throw the ball to yourself, he probably fucking would. Like, it's getting to the point where it's like, he's literally the entire offense. All he needs is a block. All he needs is blocks. That's it. I don't get why this is such a hard fucking decision. He should be getting paid double. He should be getting paid running back money and quarterback money. This is ridiculous.
I've only seen one man throw a football and he catches the ball. There was only one man. His name was Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. The video's out there. There's proof out there that he did this. And you know what, man?
He threw it far enough.
There, man. Mr. Perfect, man.
Yeah, he threw it far enough. I mean, yeah.
Hey, but to me, that's all the proof I need. Mr. Perfect, man.
I mean,
the ultimate
Marcus
athlete,
Mariota. Marcus Mariota kind of did it to himself too, but it kind of bounced back to him, and he caught it and ran into the end zone. But that's a different story.
That's I don't know what would be more impressive, that one or the Marcus Mariota one. I don't know. That is something we would take a vote for. But you know what? Mr. Perfect, he did that shit, and that was impressive. You can't tell me that was fake. Can't tell me otherwise. There's video out there. There's video right there. And one man is still alive to say that he did it. He was on the field with him. So just saying. Yeah, no, I just think at this point, when it comes to Lamar, I think it baffles me that Lamar, first of all, Lamar is going to play. Okay. I just don't know if it's going to be for Baltimore or for somebody else. I don't know. The thing that baffles me though is that I'm going to name you some quarterbacks, Brandon, that are going to make more than him. Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
Okay.
Derek Carr. He's going to make more than Lamar this year.
Oh, that pisses me off already. Okay, continue.
Jared Goff, he's going to make more than him.
Okay, continue.
Matthew Stafford is going to make more than him.
That's still bad. God damn, that's bad. Okay.
Okay. Daniel Jones is going to make more than him.
That's fucking bad. That is terrible. Okay, continue. That's fucking horrible. God damn, Dave.
Pretty rough, huh? Yeah.
Hey, fucking Jones? What is going on?
Kirk Cousins is going to make more than him. I just named you 5 quarterbacks. But I think others, you can make a case for it. Patrick Mahomes, that's perfectly fine.
Makes sense.
That's perfectly fine.
Makes sense.
Aaron Rodgers, okay. Is it debatable? Yes. Is Aaron Rodgers, does he still deserve that type of money because of the way he plays? Maybe. Maybe. Josh Allen. Okay. Understandably so. That's perfectly fine. For what he does, it's perfectly it's okay. It's okay. Like I'm okay with that.
I guess.
Deshaun Watson. Now I don't know. I have to see how this year goes for Deshaun because he didn't get a chance last year.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna kill him yet. But if he still continues looking like doo-doo, then okay, then we could start making a case like no, Lamar needs to get paid. But all right, so those are 5 quarterbacks I just named you, and it's like okay, maybe 2, 3, maybe 2. We say okay, that's fine. The other 3 were kind of like, it's debatable. All right, 3-2, it's like we got to see. But I just named you 5 quarterbacks right now. Now that's not to say that we don't believe. We don't. If you were to take the 5 quarterbacks where we said, "Oh my God, they're making more than him," if we were to take those 5 general managers into a room, no wire, no cameras, no nothing, and we freaking put a hidden camera somewhere, and we said, "Okay, man, be honest with you. There's no cameras. It's just me and you." Knowing what would you rather do? Would you still give the money to, or would you try to make a trade for Lamar Jackson?
Make a trade for Lamar Jackson. That's not even close.
Right now, sitting in this room, just me and you, would you have given that money to Derek Carr, or would you have tried to make a deal with Lamar Jackson?
I would have made a deal with Lamar Jackson. I would have packed up a couple people's shit easily in New Orleans and said, "You're going to Baltimore. Congratulations." And I would have kept it as that.
Okay. You look at Jared Goff and you're like, all right, look, man, I know Jared did some really good things for you. But if it came down to it, if it comes down to quarterback play, would you rather want Jared Goff or Lamar Jackson?
Ooh. Depends on the scheme.
Just players. We're just talking about quarterback play. We're just quarterback play. That's it.
Lamar Jackson.
Forget the teams.
Yeah.
Forget that Detroit has this and forget that Baltimore has that. We're just going off quarterback play. Who do you think Detroit would want under center?
Lamar.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take Lamar.
Okay. Minnesota.
Lamar.
Okay. So all those 5 quarterbacks that I said they're getting paid more than him, I guarantee you, if their fans were listening to this, they would say, "Yeah, I would want Lamar." Under
We did this before, but I said this once. I said I would pay Patrick Mahomes, and that's probably about it. That's the only person I would pay over Lamar. That's the only person. The only
and that's
person.
very fair and that's very fair, just due to the fact of now Burrow is gonna reset that motherfucker. All right, he's gonna reset that son bitch. All right, and to
Next
be
year's gonna
honest
be
with you,
interesting.
if Joe Burrow gets paid more than Lamar Jackson, I would be perfectly fine sending here and say, you know what, perfectly fine, perfectly fine. I know he doesn't have the MVP. I know he doesn't have a Super Bowl ring, but you know what? Perfectly fine. Fine with me. Good enough for me, man.
There's two quarterbacks next year that get paid, and I'm like, that makes sense. Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow. They get paid. I'll be like, that makes sense.
Because what sense. They mean to their teams? Hey.
Justin Herbert?
Hey.
I'm a little questioning that. I'm questioning that just a little bit.
He's gonna get paid.
He's gonna get paid, but now it's not like
he's gonna get paid.
And his thing also Tua's also gonna get paid next year. So it's just like, ugh. If Tua gets paid for Lamar,
that's a guy I'm comfortable giving Lamar Jackson money to. I'm okay. It's like, okay, I'll pay you. That way we keep building this team.
Because it's like, if Tua gets paid for Lamar Jackson, what the fuck is going on? Because that's the ultimate risk.
Bingo. But yeah, already saying that, yeah, everyone are pretty much, I'm like, they're actually in the room talking, and Lamar Jackson can't even get a phone call. He was like, New Jack on the freaking dark side of the ring. Motherfucker, you didn't even call me. Anyway, I think for me, and we're going to get into why I think this is a big situation for Baltimore fans that people don't want to admit. So defensively, though, hey, really good defense. They were number 3 for a reason. Patrick Queen, shit. 117 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 2 interceptions. The dude was dominant at LSU, and he's dominating in the NFL. Who knew? Justin Houston, 9.5 sacks, 4 interceptions. So the defense was never the issue. Now, they did lose some names. They do lose some names. One being Calais. He's to Atlanta. That's a huge loss. But I still think they're okay. Defensively, I still think they're fine because they always find a way to replace them at a younger rate and at a cheaper rate. So I think they're going to be perfectly fine. Now, free agency wise, this is where it gets interesting to me. So they re-signed Geno Stone. Okay, special teams ace, good. They re-signed their long snapper Nick Moore, good. Trayvon Mullen, they signed him defensively. Deshaun Phillips, linebacker, and Christian Wedge, linebacker. So depth-wise, the Baltimore Ravens, they're always going to be okay as long as they keep doing what they're doing. This is where it gets interesting for me. They re-signed Justice Hill. And on top of that, they signed Nelson Aguilar. And then just a few days ago, Odell Beckham Jr. signed. So what? And here's the thing that pisses me off more than anything. Here's the thing that gets me more than anything. When Baltimore said money is not a problem for luxury players. You're telling me you're willing to pay a guy $15 million for 1 year that could be worth up to $18 million in incentives. $3 million in incentives. You're willing to pay a guy that's on the wrong side of 30, literally 30 and already on the wrong side, 2 ACL surgeries. You're willing to give him a huge contract like that for 1 year. 1 year. But you can't pay your star quarterback who's giving you everything he's had for 5 years. You can't even give him a phone call. Am I missing something here, Brandon? Am I missing something? Like, did I cover it right? Am I overreacting? Am I under? Like, what's going on here? I I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's not just the fact that you signed Odell Beckham. I understand that. I understand that. It's the fact that you gave Roquan Smith an extension who got to your team mid fucking season and you automatically just gave him an extension. Just gave him an extension. What the fuck? Like what? The dude that's actually been fucking winning for you for the last 5 years, he can't even get a fucking contract. Talks. A dude that you traded for a guy from the Chicago Bears got a 5-year deal. What the fuck? That's Baltimore, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know where to begin here. I don't, that as long as they keep tagging them, the price keeps going higher and higher. And here's the thing. If I'm Baltimore, fine, keep doing that. But here's the thing. The tag you gave him, he doesn't have to show up.
Nope.
You have to pay him.
Yep.
You pay him or you rescind his tag. That's how it works. Because, see, here's the thing. They didn't put the franchise tag on him. They put a tender tag on him. A franchise tag means you have to sign in order to get paid. That's the franchise tag. You have to sign to get paid. Same thing that we're going to talk about tomorrow with the Giants. Saquon has already said, I'm not signing that franchise tag. That's going to cause some problems for the Giants now. And if I'm hearing everything correctly, the Giants are not even close to working out a long-term deal with Saquon. So guess what? Yeah. When you put the tender tag on him because you thought you can get two first-rounders and nobody's budging now, here's the thing. You still have to pay Lamar that $32 million. Imagine this. Imagine somebody tries to make a deal with Lamar. Because I know there's teams out there that are willing to make a trade with Lamar or make a deal with Lamar. You can call Lamar, and guess what? It's not even tampering. It's not even tampering, folks. Nope. You can call Lamar. Imagine somebody offered Lamar $33 million because you have to go over the price. Imagine somebody offered Lamar $33 million and Baltimore doesn't match it. You lost Lamar Jackson for $33 million, but you get 2 first-round picks out of that. And but I mean, at least you still got a Pro Bowl quarterback in Tyler Huntley. That's fine. That's fine. This is going to end bad for Baltimore if they don't re-sign him. I'm willing to say right now, he does not pay for Baltimore unless he gets what he wants. And the way Baltimore has been talking, I don't think they're going to give it to him. So that's my take on it. Lamar is going to get paid, but I don't think he has to play for a Ravens team no more.
I feel like whoever gets the third pick, whoever doesn't get the third pick from the Arizona Cardinals, they're going to be on the phone trying to call the Ravens.
On draft night. Oh, 100%.
Because if it's 6 teams that's saying they want the third pick, that means at least 5 teams know I don't have a quarterback. If you're willing to pay whatever price Arizona's asking you to pay, why the fuck you just don't go call the Ravens and say, I need a proven fucking quarterback that I know, 1, can actually play, 2, win me games, and 3, will love nothing more than get paid right now.
I know it might be biased, but Lamar.
And here's the thing. You guys can do it.
I'm just saying. I know we got Jimmy G, but we still have enough for another quarterback.
I'm about to say, like, I don't think you do it because you got Jimmy Garoppolo. But I mean, yeah, I feel like
if we
do, it's gonna be 5.
If we do, hey, guess what? Hey,
maybe I don't know if you could trade Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, you just signed him. I don't know if you could trade him. But
we could trade him. We could trade him.
Oh well, then yeah, make that deal. But
I mean, hey. You know, Jimmy, we loved you, man. But you know what, man? It's just Lamar became available, and they want to swap quarterbacks. So off you go. Hey, thanks for your 3 months, man. See you later. Lamar, what's happening, baby?
But I think for the Ravens, they are in a position where if you do not give Lamar what he wants, there's 5 teams that reportedly, well, 6, but somebody's going to get that pick. So there's 5 teams reportedly looking for a quarterback. And if you think Will Levis,
I do want to bring this up. For mock draft purposes. Will Anderson is going down the boards, and it's not because he's not talented. It's because teams are calling up for quarterbacks. One minute he was the next Chicago resident. Then he was going to go to Arizona. Now he looks like he's going to Seattle, maybe Detroit, maybe Las Vegas now. You know, he's like, where am I going? He goes, you know what, man? We'll worry about real estate when you actually get drafted, man, because we don't know where you're going anymore.
And that's the thing. And I feel like right now, it's just, I think that I feel like there is I would not be surprised, really, to be honest. I would not be surprised if Detroit lands Lamar Jackson.
It would have to be a switch, though. I will say
it's going to be a switch. It's going to be a switch. But I would not be surprised if they end up with Lamar Jackson. Them or San Francisco. I can see one of those teams ending up with Lamar Jackson. I don't know about Washington. I don't know particularly what they need to offer and what they got to offer. But San Francisco got Trey Lance and Brandon Ayuk, and they can trade. Detroit got Jared Goff. Maybe you give up DeAndre Swift too and make a trade.
There's chances for Detroit. What we're gonna have to do right now is we're gonna have to make a selection for the Ravens, regardless of Lamar being there or not. We had to make this choice for the Baltimore Ravens, and we have to be not biased on who's there. We have to make this decision because of what they need. All right, whether Lamar is there or not. And I know I know that's hard, but we got to do it. We got to do it. Look, everything you said, I agree with, but it's just we have to wait and see when it comes to Lamar. It's the wait and see game. Same thing about Aaron Rodgers. Wait and see. Wait and see, folks. So, Brandon, with the 22nd pick, who do you have the selecting?
All right. With the 22nd pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens will select Joey Porter Jr., cornerback, Penn State. Listen, Trayvon Mullen, yeah, that's cool. That's great. You know him better than I do from the Raiders. That's cool. That's great. What does he do? What does he do? What does he do? I saw him last year in Arizona. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. Like, I don't know if that's a good pickup like they think it's gonna be. I don't know.
I think what they were banking on was him to be healthy and to be what he was his second years with the Raiders.
Yeah, that's not gonna. I think
if you go back to his first 2 years, Trayvon Mullen looked like a steal. He looked like a steal.
He did.
He got hurt, and
he got hurt.
And it just went down.
And here's the thing: I could have went defensive tackle because clearly they need one. Calais Campbell is gone, and I could have went receiver because clearly it's Baltimore. But I think with Odell Beckham, Nelson Aguilar, but you do still have Rashad Bateman if he's healthy. And And I feel like with Baltimore, they still got something. They got receivers. Let's see how it looks. But I think cornerback wise, this is what I've been saying about Pittsburgh. This is something I've been saying about Baltimore. They have always had cornerbacks that they can rely on. Jimmy Smith, guys like that. They've always had cornerbacks they can rely on. And I just feel like they don't have that in Baltimore. I know it's the third best defense, but that's more so because of the front seven than the actual physical defense, like the back seven, the back four. You got Kyle Hamilton last year, Marcus Williams last year, but the cornerback position kind of looked a little wonky. I remember when Joe Burrow kind of came into the league.
At best.
I remember when Joe Burrow came into the league in his first year, fully healthy. He threw for 1,000 yards on just Baltimore. Just Baltimore. No, nobody.
The owner of the Baltimore Ravens. The owner of the Baltimore Ravens, Joe Burrow. That guy. Yeah, yes.
Joe Cool, yes. Landlord Joe. That's what we call him. Landlord Joe. He threw for 1,000 yards on that defense.
He did that, by the way. It is that year. Huh? That year when he back-to-back game in the span of 3 weeks, when he threw for 1,000 yards just on Baltimore.
And he threw for what, 9 touchdowns?
That's fucking.
Like he was just fucking killing.
I think he was like 9 touchdowns and 1 interception. I'm like, this motherfucker right here is surgically removing the heart out of the Baltimore Ravens right now.
But it's just that. Like, I feel like they never fixed the cornerback position. And with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, if you look at Pittsburgh, Deontay Johnson, George Pickett, I think Cleveland can actually trade up and get a receiver at some point. And Amari Cooper, and you have so Elijah Moore now in Cleveland too. You need a cornerback. I don't know why you need a cornerback. That's what you need. So Joey Porter Jr. with his size, his ability, his length, yeah, I think put him in the defense. Let's see what he does. Also, with that type of defense that they have, yeah, I think he could figure it out. I think that would be a perfect. And plus, on top of that, who knows the division better than his father, who got drafted by Pittsburgh? So, Joey Porter Jr.
I see what you did there. Oh, that is not a bad choice. That's a bad choice. Unfortunately for me, Joey Porter Jr. is gone. He is actually on the West Coast. He is in Seattle. He's in Seattle. He's in Seattle. He was in Seattle 2 picks ago. Look, I don't mind. Listen, corner is not a problem with it. It's fit for me. It's fit. And I don't know the remaining corners that are on here. I don't know if they could fit. Basically, I'm going to go off need. Then, yes, corner might be a need, but there's a bigger need in Baltimore. It's wide receiver. Baltimore desperately needs a wide receiver. They desperately need one. And lucky for them, this man lasted till pick 22. Because I'm sure if we were to restart again, I'm pretty sure he would not. Because of how everything is shaping up to be. So, with the 22nd pick in this year's draft, I have Jalen Hyatt, wide receiver out of Tennessee to Baltimore. Look, you know it's not a bad day in the office when you can draft the Fred Biletnikoff Award winner. It's not a bad day in the office when you have that opportunity. It's not a bad opportunity when you get to draft somebody that has first team All SEC and unanimous All-American in 2022. What did he do? Not much. 67 receptions with 1,267 yards and 15 touchdowns. He is a deep threat machine. We talked about Nelson Aguilar. You know, that famous meme, Odell Beckham Jr., I haven't seen him play football. And by the time he gets hit the field, it'll be almost two full calendar years since the last time we saw him play. And Rashad Bateman, let's call it what it is. It's not looking too pretty. He's fighting with Eric DeCosta, the general manager, on Twitter. It ain't looking pretty. So, they desperately need a wide receiver. They need one. Brandon, when I see Jalen Hyatt, I have never seen a dude that is so more open than any receiver that we're talking about. This dude is always freaking open.
Always.
And I'm like, is he open because he's fast? Or is he open because he's a good route runner? No, he's open because it's both.
Yeah.
Whenever they show his highlights and everything, the nearest defender is like 7-8 yards away from him. And I'm like, what's going on? Remember what he did against Alabama? That was not by accident, folks. That was for real. That was for real. All I'm saying is Jalen Hyatt to the Baltimore Ravens. This is something, whether it's Lamar Huntley, or whoever, they need a true number one. And Jalen Hyatt, and now I get it. 6 foot 185. Does that sound like a good frame for a number one? No. But that ain't stopping Devontae Smith. That ain't stopping a lot of these other wide receivers who have tiny frames. It ain't stopping JJ. All I'm saying is, I'm not saying that he's going to be these guys. All I'm saying is, would he give that Baltimore offense a spark? Yes.
Yeah.
100% yes. So that's why I got Jalen Hyatt, wide receiver out of Tennessee, going to Baltimore.
No disagrees. I don't disagree.
All right. So let us know in the comments. What do you guys think? Would you rather go with Brandon's pick, Joey Porter Jr., or Hyatt at both available, or is there somebody else on there? Now we're not done. Got one more team. The Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings, winners. Oh, you've been waiting for this one, huh? You've been waiting for this one. The Vikings, winners of the NFC North at 13-4.
Continue.
13-4. And eighth best offense. The eighth best offense. That was a pretty good offense. Dalvin Cook finally played a full year. Justin Jefferson did his thing. The offensive line was actually very well decent. Adam Thielen looked like his old self, and Kirk Cousins, was being Captain Kirko. And let me tell you what Captain Kirko did. 4,547 yards, 3 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Pretty good. Like I mentioned, Dalvin Cook doing his thing, 1,173 yards, 39 receptions, 295 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And, of course, I could not forget the man, possibly the new best wide receiver in the NFL. Possibly. It's debatable. The new kid on the block, Justin Jefferson, 1,809 yards and 8 touchdowns. Now, is he the new number one wide receiver? It's not hard to argue. Because there are people out there that do still believe that Devontae Adams is still the best wide receiver in the league. With right reason, too, because, this motherfucker did some shit, too, last year. That dude was, like I said, I saw him live, and tell a difference when you see a regular wide receiver in a live game, and then you see elite wide receivers in a live game, because you're just like, yeah, that's not fucking fair, bro. That's not fucking fair at all, bro. Like, that's got to given. What Justin Jefferson and Devontae Adams have, that's got to given, dude. That is one of those things where you can work all your life for, and you can maybe only have a tenth of that. What they have, that's got to given. Those hands that they got are got to given hands, dude. Because I have never seen both of them every week seem to have one crazy catch. I think the craziest catch I saw for Devontae last year was when we played Seattle, and the dude was literally holding his hand, his dominant right hand, and he still caught it with his left hand like this. And I'm like, wow. Then you see Justin Jefferson, a game against Buffalo, which Buffalo needed to win. On a 4th and 18, the dude with one hand being dragged from the depths of hell catches it with his 3 fingers and comes down with it. That right there shows you the true mark of, yeah, these wide receivers are just different, bro. They were just meant to be wide receivers in the NFL. Like, there's no, that corner draped, that corner dressed himself in him. Like, he literally put him in his own jersey, and he was still able to make that catch.
Crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, those two. I'm going to tell you right now, Justin Jefferson, for the people that don't know or don't want to know, I don't care who you have at corner. I don't care. That dude is one of those exceptions where, hey, you know what, man? It's okay if you get beat. He does this to everybody. He does. The fact that he was only 191 yards away from 2,000 receiving yards. Remember, that was a real talk. Like the last month of the season, we're like, oh my God, can he get to 2,000 receiving yards? And then Captain Kirko over there fucked it up for everybody. This is where it gets this is where stuff hits the fan. Okay. Eric Hendricks, again, like I said, great football player. 137 tackles, 8 tackles for losses, 1 sack, 6 pass deflection, 1 fumble recovery that ended up in a result as a touchdown. Danielle Hunter, still doing Danielle Hunter things, 10.5 sacks, and an old name, Patrick Peterson. I know he wasn't the corner that he once was in Arizona, but he's still a solid veteran corner. Led the team with 5 interceptions. Yeah, even with all those great numbers, they were still 28th in the league in defense. And they were the only 2 teams in the NFC playoffs that had a negative point differential. One of them being Tampa Bay, the second one being Minnesota. And guess what? They both won their division. That just shows you how bad their division was last year.
God, yeah.
So, Brendan, I'm going to ask you this, and be honest with me. Be 100% honest with me.
Okay.
Was Minnesota very good, or were they very lucky last year?
They were very lucky earlier in the season. They were very lucky. The teams they played earlier in the season, I mean, like, I'll take you back to the London game when we played them in London, right? Will Lutz probably hits another 60-yard fucking field goal. We probably win in overtime. We go to overtime, and then it's probably a hard-ass game for Minnesota to win. Minnesota got lucky early in that season. Let's be real. Green Bay. First game of the season, Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers literally did not know who the fuck he was throwing the ball to.
And then week 2, they play against Philadelphia, and that should have been an omen right there. How Philadelphia dominated them on Monday night. That should have been an omen, but continue.
It was so bad. It was so bad. We got to the point. It got to the point where we just cut the TVs off because it was Buffalo was killing Tennessee and Philly was killing Minnesota. And it was just a terrible Monday night. It was like, this is the double headers? What the fuck is this? Yeah, but they got so goddamn lucky earlier in the season. And like I said, when we did the Detroit episode, if Detroit would have probably turned it around a little earlier, they probably would have caught Minnesota and won the division. I really do feel that way. If Detroit probably would have turned it around.
And Detroit's only getting better.
It just feels like but I've said this, 2 years ago when we started doing this, I said Justin Jefferson is a top 5 receiver. You guys looked at me like I lost my goddamn mind. I guess I was right.
I think we weren't ready for that. Yeah, you were right. I think we just weren't ready for that. I think
here's the thing. Not only were you not ready for it, you
said we thought you were just being biased because
LSU.
We just thought you were being biased because he was an LSU guy, and I'm like, all right, Brandon, let's take it easy for a little bit. Let him see what he does in his first year. His First fucking year, he breaks
that was
Randy
his second
Moss's
year.
record.
No,
Like,
his rookie year, he was already to me was already a top 5 receiver. Then his second year, he was like, oh, he might be that guy. And everybody was like,
now we're kind of like, yeah, he's up there with DA. Yeah, he's up there with Devontae.
It's just, I was like, I was ready to pull a trigger immediately. I was like, nah, he's a top 5 receiver. I was like, I don't see Julio Jones as a top 5 receiver, but he's not. I was right.
And I can admit this. You were right. You were
even
right.
Even
I
with
gotta
Kirk
agree with
Cousins
you too. I think
even with Kirk Cousins throwing him the ball, he still figured out a way to put up them numbers. Come on, man. Yeah. What Mike Zimmer as the head coach at first? Think about that. Mike Zimmer was his head coach first. That is crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's a weird thing to think about it, but yeah, Justin Jefferson, nah, he's that dude. He's that dog. Like he's like on a. If he keeps this up, he's gonna be on God mode. You know, like Roman Reigns, like he's gonna be on God mode, and there's gonna be nothing you can do to. And good luck to everybody else out there that has to play defense against them. Anyway,
he's already already in God mode. He's already in God mode. His greatness on another level. It really is. It really is.
I have to agree with you though that the Minnesota Vikings got very lucky. I mean, the fact that you beat Buffalo, Justin Jefferson's hand, and then you decided that magical game, you know, Giants magical game. You know, they were down by so many points, and then that happened. Look, I think the Minnesota Vikings were very lucky. I think what it was, I think it was just a credit to Detroit was not ready to take over. Green Bay was going through its, baby daddy issues, and Chicago was rebuilding. Yeah, congratulations, Minnesota. You got very lucky playing. It ain't going to be like that next year, though. I'm going to tell you this right now. Chicago's going to get better. Detroit is coming for you, and if Packers figure this out, they could be back. So I hope Minnesota enjoyed it. It was just not meant to be, man. Now, free agency wise, what they did. They brought back. Okay, that's cool. Greg Joseph. All right, cool. Brandon Powell, wide receiver. That's cool. Austin Schlottman and Olisikama Udo, 2 depth players that they desperately needed. Nick Mullins. We all love Nick here. Everybody loves Nick Mullins. Andrew Deopola, the long snapper, he's back. Josh Oliver, very athletic tight end, he's back. And they re-signed their first rounder from 5 years ago. Garrett Bradbury was on his last year of his contract on a prove-it deal. And he did what he had to do. He's not what we expected him to come out of North Carolina, but he did well enough he's not the problem either on the offensive line. Get some continuity on the offensive line. Everything's going to be great. Defensively, now I liked it defensively offseason. Dean Lowry, great rotational guy. Jonathan Bullard, great rotational guy. Troy Reeder, amazing special teams ace. Marcus Davenport, when healthy, can be a really good pass rusher for this Minnesota defense. And Brian Murphy, when healthy, can be a really great corner for Minnesota. So all in all, I love what Minnesota did. For Baltimore's offseason, man, I'm going to give that motherfucker a D. Like, dude, you didn't do anything. For Minnesota, I'll give it a solid C. The most in agency hall, it should help you in a little bit to maybe compete for that division again, to maybe win the division again. Brandon, your thoughts?
Ravens, I give it a D2. I mean, you got them some receivers, but you don't have the quarterback yet. That's kind of a problem. For Minnesota, shit. Give it a C minus. It was cool. It's great. You still got to get another cornerback because you really don't have one I mean, let's be real. Nice pass rusher, Marcus Davenport, when he's healthy. Keyword. Also good defensive tackles. You got some depth on it on that defense. Yeah, I give it that. That's been the biggest problem. I mean, but Minnesota's gonna. Oh shit! I can't even say Minnesota's gonna figure it out. I don't know what Minnesota's gonna fucking do. I can't even explain it. I don't know.
Obviously, the biggest loss was Adam Thielen, obviously. But I don't think it's really that bad. I mean, I think the only reason they did let him go is because they do believe that KJ Osborne is ready to be that number 2 guy. They did trade for CJ Hawkinson, which it looked like it's going to work out too. So overall, I think what it really comes down to is, can this defense improve? And it has to improve if keep division. So, with that said, Brandon, who do you have Minnesota taking at pick number 23?
All right. With the 23rd pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings will select Quentin Johnson, wide receiver, TCU. I feel like he has to come here, man. He has to go to Minnesota. I like KJ Osborne, but I just don't think he's a 2 yet. I think he's a slot guy, and we're gonna push him to the 2. I don't think he fits it. Quentin Johnson fits it perfectly. Quentin Johnson is more so a possession receiver. Justin Jefferson is your big play guy. KJ Osborne is your slot receiver. And I feel like that's kind of what Minnesota needs. They need another receiver, man. They need a big receiver. And they don't have one. I know TJ Hawkinson's there, but when he left Detroit, something left with him. I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, he just did not perform when he went to Minnesota like we thought he would. And we made jokes about that. Like, Detroit traded TJ Hawkinson to the goddamn division rival. What the hell was that? And he didn't do anything. He didn't show the fuck up. I don't know what it was. And I feel like
I'll give him an offseason. I'll give TJ Hawkinson an offseason to finally get acclimated into this offense. Because remember, he got thrown into it. I'll give TJ Hawkinson the benefit of the doubt that maybe it was just the scheme of things. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because he's a true pros bro. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
I think Quentin fits this offense, man. He's 6'4", 6'5". Like, he's big enough to get the possession. He's big enough to do what Justin Jefferson sometimes can't do, and that's body somebody out of a position. He's big enough to do it. And a lot of people forget, when he was at TCU, most of his plays came off of slants. Like, that was really his biggest plays. When he did slants, that's when he really could show his speed in the open field. So I think a big receiver like Quentin Johnson come in there. I think he fits perfectly.
I just got done telling you the Minnesota Vikings were 28th on defense.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think Minnesota's just on some. Let's just outscore people to shit. I really do think Minnesota just on some. Let's just outscore people. We're not gonna probably fix that defense, but we can probably outscore the shit out of people. That's what they did all last year. They outscored you. They didn't really do shit defensively, and we all knew it. But they outscored people.
That's the problem. The reason. You can't keep doing that. That's a recipe for disaster. You can't keep doing that. Look, this defense is missing one component. It's not skills, because they got the skill set. It's not experience, because they got the youth. They got the experience in there. What it's missing is toughness. Mental toughness. And I don't think nobody brings that up more than Harrison Smith, the longtime safety for Minnesota. The dude is just mentally, physically tough. That's what Minnesota needs. That's what they kind of need. They need a mentally tough defender. And I think with this pick number 23, I am going to give them Devin Witherspoon, the cornerback out of Illinois. Nobody amplifies toughness in the secondary like this young man right here from Illinois. For the people that don't know, Brandon took him for 7 to the Raiders, which, by the way, would be fine with me as well. It'll be perfectly fine with me as well. We need that too in the secondary. We need toughness. And if you don't know who this man is, I recommend you check him out. He's got some very hard hitting clips, man. And for a guy at 6'1", 181, he's not supposed to tackle like that. He's not supposed to tackle like that, but he tackles like a madman. 42 tackles, 3 interceptions, 14 pass deflections, 0 touchdowns given up this year. 0. Minnesota needs toughness. And I know it's a gamble when we're talking about a corner like a Devin Witherspoon to bring that in, because what is a young guy going to show? But I think if you bring him in and you see how hard he goes, I think that'll get the veterans fired up to know, like, all right, we got a mentally tough young kid to join this squad. And I think that'll at least put them in the right direction to get them mentally tougher. I'm not asking for Minnesota to go from 28th to number 5. Like that shit doesn't happen in 1 year. But if they can improve, then yeah, maybe they stay the course. Maybe they won't win the Super Bowl, but maybe they'll get to a playoff game, maybe an NFC Championship game. Just improve enough to where you're going to be good, bro. You're going to be a consistent winner in that division. That's all I'm asking. So that's why I'm going with Devin Witherspoon, cornerback out of Illinois.
Well, like you said, I'm going number 7, so I'll clearly just jump the gun and put him jump the gun completely. Yeah, listen, like I said when I put him with the Raiders, but I said about the Raiders, they need toughness, they need aggression, they need a guy that can kind of just say, I got this dude tonight, and you do what you need to do. And that's kind of what the Vikings do need. They need that too. They need that very, 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 very much. But yeah, I mean, that's a good fit. I think he's a really good fit in Minnesota. That is a really good fit. Yeah, it's a good fit. No disagreements. Also coming from Illinois, which means he doesn't really have to travel that damn far. He could just go straight up the freaking road and get to Minnesota.
I mean, it's a 3-hour flight. It's a it's a 3-hour flight. It's an 8-hour drive. 20 seconds by Blue Angel jet. It's it is what it is. 15 seconds by F-20s. It depends. It depends. So, no, I think this is what Minnesota needs. They need this kid, because I think this kid will do wonders for that secondary. I think he could turn this team around. Now, obviously not by himself, but he will bring an attitude and they need attitude in that secondary.
Yeah, I gave Minnesota a cornerback last year, Derek Stingley, and that clearly wasn't the plan, because Houston thought, nah, he's the first cornerback off the board, man. That's first cornerback prize there. That's
oh my God. I gotta do that to him, man. Why do you have to do that to him, man? Why can't you just leave Houston alone, man? Just leave him alone.
Hey, man, he's first cornerback. He's first cornerback off the board worthy, man. Come on, now. That's first cornerback off the board worthy. You know that goes. You know how that looks.
Yeah, and Atlanta thought Drake London was first quarterback worthy. Oh man. I don't know where to go from here. But that's gonna do it for today. That's gonna do it for us before we get into some trouble. Tomorrow we have the Jaguars and the Giants. Jacksonville, second year, new man. Doug Peterson and the gang, great year. We're gonna see how this goes. We're gonna see if Doug Peterson can keep this rolling. And like we talked about, did Sean McDermott mess up by letting Brian Sabol go? By letting him go become a head coach. So this is gonna be something. This is gonna be something we're gonna talk about tomorrow, and then we won't be back until Sunday. But tomorrow it is the end of the Giants. So until then, Brandon, take care, man. Have a good night. I will see you tomorrow. Everybody else, take care. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.